welcome back to the Buff Bombshell Show. My name is LOTTER. I am your host, and I'm here with Emma Hyndman, the posing pro.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm really good. How are you, Emma?
I am so good. It's been a bit of a crazy week.
Yes.
We've gone into lockdown 2.0.
Yep.
So yeah, I've just been running around getting things sorted. So
Good.
everything is steady away moving forwards now.
And how are you dealing with, obviously, your gym?
So the gym is closed now. We'll close until we're allowed to reopen.
Right.
And posing wise, I've just switched everything over to Skype. And I've got the online posing coaching program this month anyway.
Brilliant.
So it hasn't been too stressful. The first time round, it was very stressful because there was like 3 months worth of bookings to reschedule. But this time, a lot easier.
Good. I'm so happy for you.
How about you?
So for me, Buff Bombshell, obviously shows are now coming to a close here in the UK. So that means we're kind of getting ready for the Christmas season, and we're obviously getting ready for next year's show. So stay tuned because other things are coming.
Lots to come.
Definitely. But ladies, make sure that you book your posing sessions in with Emma. Obviously, she is able to do them online. And please don't forget about your posing. Ever.
The Skype sessions work so well because it really just gives you a different perspective on the posing, and it really allows the athlete to almost look at the posing and the physique from the outside. Okay. So we can really pull the posing apart. We can look at before and after pictures. So it's actually a really, really great tool. That's one of the reasons why I created the online posing coaching program, because we have the element of the Skype session and also a video check-in where I give feedback on the video. I draw little pictures. so everyone really knows what they're doing. So yes.
Well done. I'm really happy for you there.
Thank you so much.
So you guys, today we are covering the British Grand Prix. So yes, English Grand Prix happened yesterday, and obviously the results have come out.
Results are already out, so we're going to have a look back at how it went on the show day. And so they brought it forward from, it was meant to be this weekend, so all of the athletes moved forwards to yesterday. And they did an amateur and a pro show. The amateur show just consisted of it was bikini. There was a figure category as well. And wellness
definitely,
and women's physique for the amateur, and the pro was
just bikini and women's physique.
So there was no pro cards given, but there was invites to the winners for the British Grand Prix next year. And then for the pro lineup, they got big amounts of money, right?
So let's just say James Hollingshead definitely went away with a sweet prize. I mean, he went away with $20,000 and an invite to the 2021 Olympia.
Wow.
So
awesome.
I mean, that is just incredible.
That's a really excellent amount from two bros. So that's fantastic. And their sponsors. Who sponsors the show? It was Trained by JP.
So I'm looking over here, and I can definitely see Trained by JP is one of the main sponsors. Obviously, JP, Jordan Peters.
And Corinne as well. So they're a joint team.
They are power couple.
They are.
Nutrition, clothing, supplements, coaching,
everything.
They do it. So.
And Corinne actually competed as well.
Yes, she did.
So we're going to cover that. So I'm excited to see.
Absolutely. You guys are in for a treat.
You are. It is a whirlwind of a show today.
Absolutely. So first of all, English Grand Prix, obviously in memory and dedicated to Luke Sandow, who passed away, unfortunately, this year, back in May. Really sad news, but we just wanted to quickly, obviously, share our tribute for him too, and share with you the video that, part of the live stream. So let's have a look at this, because it's quite beautiful. So if we can bump up the volume there, please, Khalid.
He was a really great, well-respected bodybuilder, wasn't he?
Yes.
And very, very close friends with James Hollingshead as well. So I'm sure it was a really special moment to have this tribute. So
I think James definitely channeled a lot of his energy and training this year. Like from what happened, he just went for it, and it's obviously just it's worked out. Obviously, but he's put in so much effort. So congratulations, James! Like
coming through, using that to channel it through his training. Is really something.
Definitely.
And sometimes, you know, like you got to go to those dark places, and I'm sure a lot of the time he was just pushing through, really thinking of Luke as well. So it's very commendable.
Yes, definitely. And another thing just to say about James, like your posing routine was really beautiful. A lot of different styles from, well, a lot of some, oh gosh, I think I'm getting emotional now, but like one of the things I noticed about James was that he used some of Luke Sandow's poses.
Oh, okay.
And he integrated them into his own routine, and I thought that was a really nice touch. So really beautiful.
Really lovely tribute.
Beautiful. And also a big shout out to Two Bros Pro for actually pulling this off and getting it, you know,
I know,
done.
pulling the show forward so many days.
Yes.
Shall we start with our first female category?
Absolutely. Let's do the females.
We're going to start with the pro bikini girls.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually haven't had a chance to watch this yet, so I'm actually super excited to give live feedback. There's a little glimpse of the guys for you.
Feel like
we don't usually show them, but today
they all looked incredible. So well done.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that back as well.
Yeah, you guys looked incredible.
Definitely.
So I'm just gonna skip to what should I do? Top 5, or should we do all the ladies in the lineup first?
Let's see them all from the first lineup.
Oh, glute shots, everyone.
We like a good glute shot.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if all of the athletes were able to make it to the show, because obviously it was switched forwards quite a few days. So I wonder if this is a complete category, or you know, if there was some that weren't able to make it.
I don't know. I feel like this is quite a small category. Only 12 girls in this lineup, so I think more would have been able to make it if they could have. But,
yeah,
you know,
I agree.
It's just quarantine. So over here you've got all 12 girls on stage.
Okay. I think it's a little bit of a different pro lineup to what we looked at previously.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how it kind of pans out. So here, that's Alicia in the center. Yep. We've got Phoebe to her left, and then we've got Stein on the other side, and then Kerry Sexton. Okay, that's good for Kerry to get her first call out there, because in the NPC European show, she was in the final call out, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is cool. I know she's been working hard in the really background to bring more condition this time.
Yeah, her waist and her midsection just looks a lot tighter this time, and I think that's really, she obviously brought it. She worked hard the last 3 weeks.
Okay, so let's have a little look at the girls here.
And we've also got Jade Kelsey on the far left.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Okay, nice.
We seem to be having some
signal We're buffering,
issues.
But we can talk while we're here. For me, I think Phoebe looks fantastic. For me, she's got the most complete frame. You know, that we were talking last time about the high round glute, which is very, very important in this category.
Yes.
And the shoulder and the lat taper down into the waist. I mean, her waist looks tiny. Yeah, she looks fantastic. For me, good. You know, in this lineup, she's
she looks great.
Yeah.
And also some background. Obviously, Phoebe was competing in NPC European Alicante, and the lady Stein on her second from the left.
Yeah.
She also competed in Alicante. So Stein came 5th then, and Phoebe came 4th. Just to give you some background. Yeah.
Phoebe's, so I'm just going to look at the middle 3. I have to firstly say I much prefer Phoebe's look this time. Yeah. The hair is more polished. The overall look looks more polished. And from the back, I think Phoebe always looks fantastic from the back.
Right.
She's got nice round glutes. She's got that nice hamstring to glute tie-in. I mean, you can see now they've moved Stein into the center, so they're probably comparing Stein and Phoebe. For me, Stein just isn't quite as full in the highest part of the glute.
I can see that.
Yeah. But let's see what they look like from the back, because obviously this is where they're really looking. She's a little bit sharper through the glute to hamstring tie-in. Yeah. But as well, bear in mind, it is sometimes a little bit difficult for us to get a true representation because we have the video footage. So in the flesh, it may have been a little bit different, but here she's just sharper through the glutes. Now, Alicia's also sharp, but she's a little bit too sharp.
I got you.
Do you remember when we watched the NPC European show, we were chatting about Francesca?
Yes.
And she comes in super conditioned, and it's almost, it looks fantastic, but there's still a real softness and a roundness to the bikini girls, and they're not hard. So it is a very, very fine line, isn't it?
They want so many different things, and it's it can be hard to sort of nail that look down completely, which is why I think bikini winners, especially for the Olympia, it changes every year. You know, it's never consistent. Yeah, and it really changes. It does. You're right. From each show, from each Olympia. Just if we look here, can we pause this shot? We can pause that. Let me quickly
they just
go back.
move. They always do that. So in that glute pose from the back, it gives you a really good idea of what we really want to see through that rear pose, and it's really, really important that the back pose is as strong, if not stronger, than the front pose, because that's what they're really looking for in this rear shot here. So for me, the center three, so we've got Phoebe, we've got Stein, and we've got Alicia. You can tell they're top three. They've got the roundness through the glute. They've got the hamstring to glute tie-in, albeit Stein is a little bit too conditioned. But if you look at the girl on the far left...
That's Laura.
She isn't quite as full in the glutes, and she's just... that tie-in just becomes a little bit too conditioned, so it becomes a bit flat.
Okay.
Can you see that? Yeah. And then if we look on the other side, I think for me, Kerry, if she just have stretched through the hamstrings a little bit more, we would have seen more condition.
So when you
this would have made a difference.
When you stretch through the hamstrings, is that going to be like the arch in the lower back where you kind of...
So it's really, I almost try and explain it. You know, when you do an RDL, a Romanian deadlift, and you get that initial first half of the movement where you start to really stretch through the hamstrings, and you push the body weight back into the heels. This is how we want it to be, because what sometimes happens is if you just think about, if you arch in the lower back, that's correct. But what we don't want to do is then allow the upper body to fall forwards.
Right.
So we always need to make the lower back like this, instead of the upper body being here and the butt sticking out. So you've really got to have that lower back flexibility and mobility to get a good rear pose here, and to also see the stretch through the hamstrings and glutes.
Sounds painful.
It is. It is. So, and then Jade here, second one in. She's got good condition through the hamstrings, but the glutes, they're just not quite. See, if you look at Kerry's, nice and round here on the outers, and even Phoebe's as well. Jade's just a little bit flat in that highest part of the glute, but that'll come over time. And she's a really good up and coming British athlete, so a little bit more development there, a little bit more muscle maturity. And I think she'll be a really great athlete. But so that you can really see the difference through the rear pose and what the IFBB judges are really looking for.
Yeah, just a quick little mention as well. Jade, best show ever for me, like from what I've seen from her, best. And also congratulations to Laura, far left. I know we're looking at your glutes over here, but she recently turned pro on the 5th of September. Yeah. So this was her first pro show, and
fantastic. She's in the first call out.
Yeah, well
That's
done.
What you want, right?
Absolutely, well done.
I think as well, like when you do go into your first pro show, it's really important not to have unrealistic expectations.
Right.
And I really emphasize this. I don't know if we chatted about it in the last show, but I think it's really important that firstly, as a spectator, you know, we have athletes that we aspire to be like, that we look up to, we put them on a pedestal, and then they go into a pro show, they get the pro card, fantastic. And then they go into a pro show and it's the level, it almost goes 10x.
Right.
Yeah.
So you started from the bottom.
Yeah. Again. So even, you know, to make the top 10 in your first pro debut is phenomenal.
Well done.
And to even be in the mix of a top 6 is fantastic.
Yeah, well done. Absolutely crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to quickly sort of...
I have to say everyone has great hair.
Yes.
Everyone looks well polished in this first call out.
Here's their turn.
Nice. Really nice presentation. Super smiley as always. I always say to the girls, make sure you're smiley. Don't be too pouty. You have to think like beauty pageant and fitness.
Yeah. Beauty pageant meets fitness.
Yeah, exactly. So. Definitely for the bikini girls. Now here, this front pose, can we pause it?
We can pause it.
Before they move. Yes.
There we go.
So here, on the side pose, it's really important to have that high round glute and that taper down through the waist. Now, if we will work from our right to left, so we'll start with Kerry. Now, when you're stood on the outsides, you need to remember that you're where your judges are. So think about ever so slightly angling yourself in towards your center judge. I always say work towards your head judge and present yourself to them. Because sometimes I think if Kerry had been on a slightly different angle, we would maybe get a different pose.
Right.
And we'd probably see more of the glute and the taper. I mean, she's very petite in the waist anyway, but I think it would have just given more emphasis through that, the taper and the proportion from waist to glute. Jade here for me, as I was saying before, because she just lacks, if you look at Phoebe, she's really got that high round glute and it almost is like a shelf from the waist. And if you compare to Kelsey, she's just lacking that just a little bit. And so it makes the taper look, the frame looks a little bit smaller. I think if there was just a little bit more lat flare through the front, although we don't look for a really obvious lat spread or lat flare in the bikini, it is really important. Like you can see very clearly there that Phoebe's flaring her front lat, which then gives you more taper down to the waist. If you're not flaring the lat, the ratio from lat to waist is a lot smaller. So you don't look like you've got that. It's still an X frame.
But just less.
Yeah, if the shoulders are closer together, the top line is shorter. So we don't get that wide top line. I always say, think of the upper body like an upside down triangle.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah.
Upside down.
And if you on my online course, you get those little triangle diagrams as well. But for me here, Phoebe, fantastic. Fantastic in this pose.
I gotta say, like, I like Jade's glutes. She's got like an Ashley vibe over here where it's just like this ding.
Oh, you're looking at that bottom part, the bottom of the like that. It is like a peach, don't you think? It's peachy. We like it.
I do really like that.
But could you imagine that peach drop there? It's like, in fact, it's more like. do you remember pear drops that you used to eat? Those sweets.
Yeah.
She's got a pear drop.
She's got a... Jade, you have a pear drop. There you go. You have a pear drop. It's a nice pear drop.
We love a pear drop. But if she just had a little bit more peach here... Oh.
On the top.
Fantastic. Just a little bit more. And we were chatting because we were training a couple of weeks ago. And we were saying that shelf is so hard to get. Yeah. That side glute.
It's hard to build.
Yeah. You got to really isolate when you're training to get that. So yeah.
And then obviously like onto Phoebe, looks great. We've talked about
fantastic.
And then Stein.
Yeah, I think she's a little bit like, her frame is a little bit similar. Her and Jade are quite similar.
Okay, yeah.
You know, their height, the shape. For me in this lineup, I mean, Phoebe takes this pose, but we know from the back that Stein just has a little bit more sharpness through the hamstrings and glutes.
Right.
But for me, but her shape still looks fantastic. You know, they got that nice development of the shoulder cap. It's not too overbearing. And she's got a tiny waist.
Yeah, very
her waist
tiny.
is tiny. And then next to her right, we have Alicia. Again, she's for me, Phoebe and Alicia are very similar.
Yeah, they've got
very similar physique. I think Stein maybe is a little bit harder through the muscle.
Right.
Sorry, Alicia.
Oh.
Is a little bit harder, a little bit more conditioned.
Okay.
So sometimes when that condition is just a little bit too far, it takes away the softness and the fullness.
Got it.
But she's got really great glute development that I think if she just lifted her front lat out a little bit more, it would give more taper down through the waist.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
See? So all counts, you guys. Upside down triangles.
And then of course, all those triangles, all of the shapes and angles, and then Laura on the end. You can tell this is her first pro debut if you look at the other 4-5 girls.
Okay.
But still beautiful shape, nice small waist. You can see the shoulder cap, the taper down into the waist. So I think with time and experience, I mean, she's in the mix. Yeah, and it's her pro debut. So
well done.
We applaud you for sure.
And
lovely.
Then just something that's like a little bit, I guess, related. I look at everything, even down to connectors. But this is going to sound very strange, but for me, Stein's connector accentuates sort of like a curve.
I was having this conversation. I had Phoebe Goodwin back in the studio last week.
Right.
And we were talking about connectors. So I said, have you changed your connectors? Because obviously when it's just a really thin connector and it, Jade's connects all the way to the back. I like it when you get the material and the material comes into the waist because I think it shapes the glute and the taper of the waist more. And then and I think as well, Stein and Phoebe's connectors, they're a little bit thicker than Alicia's, and I think that adds to the shape. I don't like it when they're too thin.
Neither do I. So do make sure
that
when you're
research.
When you're getting your bikini made, just make sure you obviously think of absolutely everything. And don't go for connectors that are too thick. Because that's going to, especially if you're short, I would never go for a thick connector.
I think if you've got a longer waist, if you've got a long torso, then maybe a slightly thicker connector would maybe just break the physique up a little bit more.
Exactly. Okay.
But it's dependent on everyone's individual frame, and really your bikini maker should know what works best for you. So definitely do your research.
Yes, please do your research because it all counts.
It really does, especially in the pro lineup. It's crucial.
Yeah, everything counts, you guys. Let's just quickly move on to these. So this was a second call out.
Oh, okay. And Kerry's in the second call out again.
So Kerry made first call outs and then she got moved into the second.
I'm going to make a point here.
Yes, go for it. 11 points.
If Kerry is just ever so slightly squeezing her butt cheeks together.
Oh.
Ever so slightly. You see how she has a little pinch?
Okay.
Let me just show you.
Yes, please.
So here
and
here. Now, if she stretched through those hamstrings more and maybe just ever so slightly pushed back into the glutes, you just lose that little pinch and it would give more through the hamstrings and glutes, I think.
So no bum pinch, everyone.
Yeah.
No bum pinch.
So, but the girl next to her, that is...
So this is Laura.
Okay, yeah.
So again, Laura got moved into second, but she got 6th place.
Okay.
In her pro show, so that was really good.
Yeah.
And then I think she looks really good here.
She does, yeah.
Trained by Body by O. Actually, these two ladies here, Sarah Law and Laura, Body by O.
And Sarah, okay. So Laura is, she's from Spain.
Yes.
And then we've got Sarah Law, who is the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, super. Yes, and this category is sponsored by Body by O.
Body by O and JP Nutrition,
and
guys,
JP as well. Okay,
and including all of these other sponsors on the side.
The sponsors on the sides. There's quite a few there.
Let's not forget them. But yes, everyone is looking good. Again, different foot positions.
Yes. So again, dependent on the athlete. If you have dominant quads, you wouldn't want to turn the toes out too much because it's going to emphasize the quad sweep. It's not something that they're massively looking for in this category. But if you're smaller and the quads aren't developed, you can afford to rotate the toes out a little bit. So Sometimes as well, the position, I think if Laura had a slightly wider foot position here, it would give her a little bit more width on the overall frame. When the feet are too close together, for example, directly underneath the hip bones, it can make the frame look a little bit narrow.
Okay, too narrow.
Yeah, so you have to play around with your foot position. I always recommend, especially the rear pose, because obviously we can't see it when we're practicing, but a huge tip is set your phone up to record, watch yourself running through the rear pose, watch it back, critique it, and then you can play around with the foot position and just find what makes your physique pop the best.
Okay, phone tip, everyone. Phone tip. So
and you should be recording your posing anyway.
And then yes. And then over here we've got the final 4 ladies. So I'm just going to pause it again over here.
Okay.
So on the left, Alicia Gardner.
Okay.
New pro, also her pro debut.
Okay.
Coached by Team LRF. I will shout them out because why not? This lady over here.
She looks familiar.
Yes. I'm trying to think. Tasha? No, I can't.
998 is her number, so we can maybe grab her name up on the screen. But she looks nice. She's got a nice shape, but you can really tell from the first call out to the last call out this is. You can see the difference. I mean, it's a really good tool to do comparisons. So if you're really trying to educate yourself on the criteria, because sometimes I think as well with the bikini criteria, we can be a little bit unsure on like, what are the judges looking for? And especially I think if you're new into competing, sometimes we're not entirely sure the difference between federations as well. So definitely know what your posing criteria is, what your actual requirements are in the physique and what they want to see, what body parts are the most important to them.
So
but
it's just like in IFBB. So for example, the back, we don't...
No flare of the lats.
No moving of hair anymore. Like the back is completely covered. So
all they want to see in that rear pose is just the hamstring to glute tie-in. They're really not interested in any kind of back muscle. That's why now the girls, they don't show the back. Because if you think about the level of condition that we need to bring through the hamstring and glute, that takes a lot of condition. A lot. And with that, the back will get leaner and leaner. And it's just not for this criteria. The bikini, they don't want to see
any back,
a shredded back. As much as we love the shreds, they don't want to see it. So hence now why the hair stays down the back in the rear pose. So it's quite important that we know what they're looking for.
It's a good tip. And I'm just going to give like one tip that I have discovered through this, because I want to go to a back shot quickly here. This is something that I am kind of critical about, but your hair, if you've got really long hair, say for example, Kerry Sexton on the right, and it's covered all the way down here, you can't see the waist anymore. So the shape from the back, you can no longer see kind of like...
the taper of the waist?
Yes, or that X kind of frame that we're looking for.
Whereas, how does it look in her actual rear pose?
It looks good. She's got fantastic hair. But the thing is, when you want to be, it's a very fine line, isn't it? Like the hair needs to sit. See, when she's in the rear pose, I actually think the hair would sit just on that center line of the waist. But I've actually had clients in where I've said, you're going to have to cut the thickness out of your hair. Or just trim it
trim it inwards so it comes down to a point.
Just another tip.
So you can see the waist at the side, because it all makes a difference.
Exactly. And you want that tiny little waist from the back anyway. So
100%.
If you've got really long hair, I don't want to say cut it, but curl it or bring it up.
Lift it somehow.
Yes, please.
Or I did also, one of my clients, she had a lot of hair. So what we actually did was in the rear pose, she flicked the side bits of her hair around the front. So she only had the back bit sitting down. So but this, attention to detail.
Exactly.
It's so important. So make sure you are aware.
Presentation.
Yes.
And now, top 4.
Top 4. Okay, so we've got from our left. Oh no, there. Left, right. I don't know anymore.
This lady?
Okay, yeah. So we will start on the far side, and we have got Alicia. And then we've got Phoebe. And then we have Stein. And then we've got Jade Kelsey.
Got it.
Super. Well, they look fantastic, and it's quite interesting now because obviously you've got Alicia and Phoebe next to each other, which have a very similar physique, and then we've got Stein and Jade, who are very similar physique. So it's nice to see them next to each other.
So
super.
Should we show the award moment?
Yeah, let's show the awards. Let's see who placed where.
This was intense.
How did Two Bros turn this around so quickly?
I don't know, but it's really commendable that you guys actually managed to get the show
Superb. Well done, guys.
Actually, before I go, Kaleem, who did you have for the win here? Bikini. Who would you want to win? Come on, tell us. Who's your favorite bikini girl? Who's your favorite bikini girl?
Say Kerry, because we met her last time.
Oh. See, Kerry, Kaleem wants you to win, so you gotta bring it. All right, guys,
let's go.
Awards moment. Can we turn up the volume slightly, please? So all 12 girls on stage.
Who's it gonna be? No masks either.
Oh, I'm so happy about that.
I can see everyone's faces.
I know we're in official lockdown and COVID, but it's I'm so happy we didn't have to have masks this time.
Yeah.
Number 990, Stein Hansen.
Okay.
Ooh, I think this is still call-outs or comparison rounds.
Yeah.
Should I move it?
Oh, are they calling off their top 4? They're taking their top 4 off stage.
And number 987, Alicia Fekin.
It's got to be hard when you have the same name as somebody else.
Yeah.
And you get called up and you're like,
that's not me.
Yes, not the right Lauren.
So that's your top 5 back on.
Should I skip to more awards? I think also look, Sarah
It's got to be said that all the ladies on stage today have brought a fantastic package.
I'm going to move it to
when did Sarah get her pro card?
Last year at Portugal.
Oh, okay.
2019.
992, Esther Osella.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic. So that's 5th place, Esther. Esther is from Hungary.
Esther, you look beautiful. Yeah.
Really nice. So who's our 4th place going to be?
And could we take the 4th place medal?
I'm going to say Jade.
To number 996, Jade Kelsey.
Yes.
Well done, Jade.
Nice. Good work, Jade, you know. Really great work.
Stunning.
And I know she'll be really happy with that, you know.
And the 3rd place medal to number 987, Alicia Fachin.
Well done, Alicia.
Okay, that's interesting. Nice. Great glutes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Super conditioned, like you said. Like
yeah, she's maybe just a little bit too much. So, who do you say? Who do you think?
I don't want to say. It's too hard.
2021 official Olympia qualifier. Could we take the 2nd place award?
Who's it going to be?
Phoebe Hager.
Oh.
Which leaves our winner.
Interesting. It must have been the glute sharp.
Yeah.
The rear pose, just a little bit sharper.
From Denmark.
Stein Hansen takes
So Stein gets her direct invite to 2021 Olympia.
Congratulations.
How cool. That's amazing.
Yeah. Congratulations, Phoebe and Stein. But Stein, like
all of the girls, they look superb.
Yeah.
And to bring all of this together, even the athletes as well. You know, imagine going, you know, when did we find out? Friday? Lockdown was going to happen on the Thursday, so it was the case of everyone was like a week out going into their peak week.
Exactly. So can you imagine how much stress as well? Just then carbing up and all those little things that make such a difference, like in your final
week. Yeah,
like you should be ready anyway, but the peak week is like
if things can change, you know, like that's your opportunity to fill up, you know, especially if you're doing shows on the bounds, because Spain was how many weeks ago? 3
weeks ago.
3 weeks. So, you know, those extra weeks make a massive difference.
They really, really do.
And I'm just, so really great result there. I wonder what's going to be next for this top 5. Are they going to be competing again? Because we've still got Romania, right?
And I think Portugal.
Oh.
So exciting.
Oh, that Portugal stage. I'm just dying to get on it. We just want to go there just so we can just sneak on stage and just elevate upwards.
That's the only
reason I want to go.
And we want to interview all the girls. So Portugal.
That as well.
If you can get us there, we'd be so happy.
I mean, I just want to come up out of the stage. Give me my moment.
She looks fantastic.
She looks superb.
She? How cool is
Beautiful.
The sword?
Really, I got a sword when I got my pro card.
Oh, so cool.
I need to put it up in the studio with the gym. At the moment, my trophies are just like in a corner.
You guys have to go check out Strength Pro Gym when lockdown is over. And you need to go and pose with Emma in her posing room because it's really, really cool.
I'm going to utilize the time to get some additional lighting in there. It's so hard to figure out the correct lighting in a posing studio.
I bet.
Yeah, so I'm going to get some actual stage lighting put at the front.
Okay.
And so,
That's awesome.
we're all going to look maybe 2 weeks out all of the time. Whenever you step in the studio.
Stage lighting, everyone. So that's going to be awesome. So you guys, thank you so much for watching our English Grand Prix Bikini review. Loads of tips and details that we gave you, down from hair to posing. And yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and thanks so much for watching.
Amazing. Drop us a like, drop us a comment, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Definitely. All right, so we've got some shout outs that we want to do for this episode. So Emma, who is your first shout out?
My first shout out is Sydney Gillen.
Oh my.
Yes, so she is 3 times Olympia figure winner.
Gee.
Yeah. Impressive. She her physique is insane. I think every time she competes she just looks incredible. She is going to the Olympia this year.
Great.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really magnificent lineup of females.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm really excited to see this year's Olympia, which is in December
the 18th to the 22nd. So just before Christmas.
Literally just before Christmas. That's insane.
Yeah, with all the changes that have had to happen this year, they've had to move it around quite a bit.
She looks phenomenal. So
oh my, she looks gorgeous.
She's really small.
Really? How
petite.
tall?
I'm not entirely sure, but she is quite small. But she's just got that beautiful frame where the waist is tiny, great development through the quads, and she's got fantastic balance through the shoulders and the lats. But this category at this level, it is such the standard is so high,
right?
And you're literally pulling the girls apart. But Sydney is a massive standout. I mean, as I said, 3 times Olympia winner.
Amazing.
That just speaks for itself.
Yeah, amazing. And beautiful face as well.
Yeah, she's really pretty, isn't she?
Yeah, really beautiful.
Full package, nice. Yeah. She looks really polished. I mean, look at the glow on the skin.
Tiny face.
Teeny tiny.
Yeah.
So let's have a quick look at her main feed. Let's scroll back up. Yep. So she's a posing coach as well. 3 times Miss Olympia winner. So if you want to give her a follow, it's Vitamin C, Vitamin_C. She's fantastic.
Incredible. Give Sydney a follow, you guys, if you don't already.
Oh, and she's got a clothing range as well. Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Okay, and then on to an amateur shout out for this one.
Who's yours going to be?
Well, I have chosen someone in the UK, Sarah Harley.
Yeah.
You've had a really interesting year, to say the least.
She's had a tough year. She was Luke Sando's partner.
Yes.
So it's been incredibly tough for her.
Yeah. But the thing is, the reason why I chose Sarah is because she has competed in IFBB and in wellness.
Yeah.
And I really want to see her progress in that category. So I cannot wait for you to step on stage again, because I have been watching your training videos and I have been watching you work the glutes.
Her butt is incredible. I've seen those training videos and I don't stop when I'm scrolling very, very often, but her glutes definitely caught my attention.
Yes, so I cannot wait to see you on stage again. And I just
let us know what your plans are. Maybe she's going to think of something for next year. She'd definitely be competitive.
I do.
In wellness.
I definitely think that you will
Let's
do
scroll
really
down
well.
a little bit more and just see if there's anything from stage. She's got great development through the lower half. Yeah, I've known Sarah for a long time. She got a great physique, so that would be exciting.
So yes, like we want to see you on stage. Yes. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.